that impeding our law enforcement efforts? If so, what are we going to do about it? Is she crossing the line? So I'm working with the Department of Justice and finding out where is that line that they cross. So maybe AOC is going to be in trouble now.
Are you suggesting that she should be prosecuted?
Opinions vary.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Opinions Varied. That's Opinions with an A. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I think she's crossing the line, and I think she should be prosecuted. But I'm not the DOJ. I'll leave that up to them. Anyway, let's get into what this is all about. AOC informing illegal aliens how they can avoid arrest. Is that something befitting somebody of Congress, first of all? I'm sure there's some ethics problems there at the very least. We're going to get into what she said. We'll get into something from Fox News. We'll have a congressman who's leading to what I just said. Something could be done to her within Congress. And then we'll have Tom Homan on CNN with Dana Bash. And, of course, CNN, you know where they're coming from. But wait till the very end when Dana Bash says something absolutely ridiculous. And it's really why nobody watches CNN anymore. And I'll get into that, too. You ready? Let's go.
When one of these things comes to your backyard, you can resist. And
she's saying resist arrest.
what that happens over millions of people is that you generate enough friction that they cannot go as fast as they want to go.
We have AOC doing everything she can to make sure that criminals stay in the country. That's the Democrat Party for you right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Make sure that you are slowing down this system.
AOC's office advising.
In fact, what it means is it's costing you and me, taxpayers, more money. So that's what AOC's doing for you, everybody.
Migrants on how to avoid deportations. That was a live webinar. Trump border czar Tom Homan now issuing a warning to AOC.
I sent an email today to the Deputy Attorney General. At what level is that impediment? Is that impeding our law enforcement efforts? If so, what are we going to do about it? Is she crossing the line? So I'm working with the Department of Justice and finding out where is that line that they cross. So maybe AOC is going to be in trouble now. Sanctuary cities, they want to step aside. We're coming. We're going to do it for you. If you don't want to make your community safer, President Trump's going to.
Congressman Carlos Jimenez from House Homeland Security joins me now, and it's great to have you on this topic because you watched that video and think, shouldn't she be watching for the safety of her constituents? She's actually advising people who broke the law to come into this country to now break the law if and when they are approached or apprehended.
She is. She's telling them to resist arrest. She says resist. She's not giving them a specific. She wants to get specific with you don't have to let them in. Like you read that little card there. You don't have to be subject to voluntary search, all this nonsense. But that's fine. You want to say that, but then to say resist, because you don't think people are going to take AOC and say, "Oh, I'm just going to fight I'm going to fight law enforcement if they try to arrest me." And is she going to get in trouble for that rhetoric? God forbid a law enforcement officer gets killed because one of her illegal aliens that she wants to help stay in the country resists arrest and somebody dies, and the law enforcement officer dies or gets severely injured. Is AOC going to be held responsible for this rhetoric? Not by the media. We know that.
Yeah, I saw that, and I found it very, very troubling that a fellow congressperson would say that and then tell people that when there are ICE agents, agents of the law coming in to do their job, that somehow you need to resist and resist and resist. That's not what we do. We're lawmakers. We're not lawbreakers. And so one of the things that I'm looking at now is, look, we also get, security clearances and briefings, et cetera. I think now that we're going to have to take a look at her security level and her security clearance, because could she be using that information also to aid and abet illegal migrants that are trying to evade the law? That's really troubling. And, I think she can get herself in hot water with this one.
I think at the very least, AOC should face some consequences in Congress for this. Mike Johnson, are you listening, Mike Johnson? How about Republicans, for once, do something. Do something about this. You control the House, Mike Johnson. You're the Speaker of the House. This is conduct unbecoming a United States congressperson. End of story. They're telling people how to resist lawful arrest. This should not fly. Period. Do something about it. Anyway, now let's get into CNN with Dana Bash and Tom Homan. This one's good. Let's go.
I want to take this conversation more broad and talk about how it's going so far with the president's promise multiple promises on immigration and deportation. You've said roughly 14,000 migrants have been arrested in the first month of this administration, and that's well below the 1,500 daily arrests that the president says he wants to see. You're getting support from across the federal government, from the FBI, from DEA, from U.S. Marshals, even the military. What's the struggle? Why are you struggling to get those arrests where President Trump wants them?
It's amazing how they try to make this like it's not a success already. It has been a success already. Tom Homan is going to explain why the numbers maybe aren't where they want them to be. But again, here we have the Democrats. The problem they caused, now questioning the people who are trying to find the solutions to the problem they caused, and they don't like it.
Well, we got to remember the interior arrests conducted by ICE in the interior of the United States is 2.5 times, 2.5 times higher than it were a year ago during the Biden administration. So ICE is doing a great job. I'm not happy with the numbers because we got a lot of criminals to find. So what we're talking...
Yeah, maybe if Joe Biden didn't let them all run loose for 4 years, they'd be a lot easier to find, on top of the sanctuary city problems, which he's going to talk about in a second. Hey, guys, if you're still watching, I really appreciate it. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the like button right now. Subscribe. I do one video a day at least. If I don't do one video, it's because of circumstances that were beyond my control and I couldn't get it done. But please like, share, and subscribe and help me grow this channel. I appreciate it.
About right now, we're increasing the number of teams, increase the targeting, the division of ICE that creates a target list of, finding who these people are, what their criminal history is, and where we're most likely to find him. We got to increase the targeting production. So we're doing that now. We're increasing the targeting. We're increasing the teams out there in the field. And finally, I'll be honest with you, sanctuary cities are causing us a lot of work. And rather than arresting a bad guy in Rikers Island, we have to go to the neighborhood and find them, find people that don't want to be found. It is hard because rather than one man arresting one bad guy in a jail, we got to send a whole team to the field to find somebody that doesn't want to be found.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, this all costs money. This costs us, the taxpayers, more money. This shouldn't be costing this much money, but because like he just said, they have to send whole teams now. It takes more time. It takes more effort, more man hours, more everything. It costs more money. Thank you, Democrats.
And so it's hard work, but we're not giving up. We're coming. Again, the numbers are a lot higher than the Biden administration, but we got to do more. And I've been real clear on that. And that's why we're making the operational changes now that I've requested.
You went after Democratic Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for hosting a webinar for immigrants.
He didn't go after her. He was questioning what she was doing, and he's asking a legitimate question. He didn't go after her.
Called Know Your Rights with ICE. I want to play what you said.
Is that impeding our law enforcement efforts? If so, what are we going to do about it? Is she crossing the line? So I'm working with the Department of Justice and finding out where is that line that they cross. So maybe AOC is going to be in trouble now.
Are you suggesting that she should be prosecuted?
I am.
I'm suggesting, and I'd ask the Department of Justice, where's that line on impediment, right? It's a broad statute. So I know impeding with someone stopping in front of me and putting their hands on my chest so you're not coming in here and arrest that guy, that's clearly impeding. But at what line, where's the line on impeding? So I'm asking the Department of Justice, who are the prosecutors, and decide who they prosecute and what the standards of that prosecution is. I simply says, at what point is that impeding? Because you can call it know your rights all you want. We all know what the bottom line is. The bottom line is how they invade law enforcement. Don't open your door. Don't answer questions. Here's what we're talking about. We're talking about people here in the country legally with a criminal conviction who had due process at great taxpayer expense and were ordered deported by a federal judge, but became a fugitive. And we're talking about don't open your door to ICE. You don't have to answer questions. I think it's more about how to invade law enforcement, not to get arrested, even though there's a federal warrant for your arrest. How to evade that rather than know your rights. Now, we can argue about that all day long.
All right, so you heard that. I think CNN cut out at the end what Dana Bash said, and they probably cut it out because they know she's completely wrong. They cut out when she said to Tom Homan that crossing the border illegally and being in the country without committing another crime is a civil offense. It's not a crime. Actually, yes, it is. It's a misdemeanor, and I'll show that to you right now. Okay, so let's ask Grok, that is X's AI, and let's see what Grok says about being in the country illegally. Let's see. Is crossing the border illegally a crime? Let's see. Yes, crossing the border into the United States illegally is a crime. According to U.S. law, specifically Title 8 of the United States Code, Section 1325, improper entry by alien. It is a federal misdemeanor to enter or attempt to enter the United States at any time or place other than as designated by immigration officers. Subsequent offenses or certain aggravating factors can elevate this to a felony under Section 1326 of the same code. However, the enforcement, prosecution, and penalties for this crime can vary based widely on policy, resource allocation, and political climate. Yeah, we know all about that, don't we? So there you have it. AOC, in my opinion, should be prosecuted. Or at the very least, let's look into her real good right now. Maybe she should sweat a little bit. Maybe she should have some sleepless nights like so many other people have when the Department of Justice has gone after them for a lot less. Maybe that should happen at AOC. Maybe she'll keep her big mouth shut and maybe think for a second before she speaks. Probably not. Best thing for her would be to go back to being a bartender. That's where she belongs. No offense to bartenders. Plenty of you are great. I think she probably sucks at that too. Anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time right here at Opinions Vary.
Opinions vary.